Welcome back to What She Said Sports. All right. It is Thursday again. I feel like I just said Happy Friday a few days ago, but that was last week. So this week has gone by really quickly. And a lot's happening. So since we last spoke last night, excellent conversation, tremendous engagement. It was great. Um, we left off talking about, trade possibilities, Shador Sanders' name. And I did look into matter of fact, all of them that I know about that are out there. Indianapolis, Detroit, Jacksonville, etc. So Travis Hunt. So we knew I touched a little bit. I touched a little bit about Shamar Stewart, who's supposed to be playing for the Bengals, the number 17th pick overall, meaning number 17 in the first round. What? He did not sign his rookie contract yet. Now I knew there were a group of them. It's supposed to be fine. So when I checked yesterday, I didn't see Travis Hunter's name, but I had heard, and I said it. I heard Travis's contract was unsigned, but then I looked somewhere else and it said it was. Travis has not signed his rookie contract, which means when you heard that he bought a house, apparently that's not true because Travis himself, post practice interview with the Jaguars, he was asked about buying a house. He's like, I haven't bought a house yet. Now that you know he didn't sign his contract yet, it makes sense. He has not bought a house because that didn't make sense. So I know it was a detailed interview, detailed commentary that said he bought a house. They put it in an LLC's name, he and his wife. They looked at 16 houses together along with her brother was with them. I was like, that was a lot to say. And Travis like, I haven't bought a house yet. So maybe they've been house hunting, but put the purchase on pause because Travis, along with about four other rookies, the two I know of in the first round, have not signed their rookie contract. So I knew Shamar Stewart's issue was supposedly pertaining to what? Something about voiding guarantees anytime now or in the future. And the rookie contract, while it's true, somewhere between 5 and 25 pages, is not negotiable. And that's true. It's not. You can add incentives, etc. But seemingly so, they've tried to make you believe that Shamar Stewart is not going to practice because he's the only rookie that has an issue with his contract. That's false. Uh, it makes you believe that he's the only rookie in the NFL that has an issue with guarantees being voided, right? That might not be true either because Jacksonville is tight-lipped on why Travis hasn't signed his contract. So they're speculating, oh, I'm sure to get worked out. But people notice that Travis is pretty short with his answers. They asked him about a Madden rating. He was like, I don't care anything about a Madden rating. I'm here to play football. But his contract isn't signed. So Travis is showing up every day and playing on working off on both sides of the ball and they gushing all over him, but his contract is not signed. Shamar Stewart is not even playing. He don't leave the locker room or he's not in the facility. And today, the last day of mandatory camp, he didn't show up at all. And he's serious. He's like, it's a shame to come all of this way. And this is a problem. And then Travis is like, I'm just here to play football. But his contract is not signed. And then there are three others. So there are three issues that supposedly could possibly be the problem. But one that we know of, people want you to believe that it's only specific to Shamar Stewart. It's only specific to the Bengals. And I'm like, how can the Bengals add language in a rookie contract that only affects one person or one team? That don't make any sense. So supposedly, they're making certain people a guinea pig. And Shamar Stewart is like, I'm not about to be your guinea pig when you put in this clause specific for me, but nobody else has it or no other club has it. But then now that you see Travis is holding out and we don't exactly know why, because they're like, well, it could be he's holding out because maybe he wants more of his guarantee bonus cash flow up front rather than later. I'm like, I don't think that's it. And then they said, yeah, there's this issue with they can void your guarantee based on the field activity issues, which needs clarity. Because what the hell are you talking about? It's vague. And then something about, and the last one makes sense to me a little bit, but you got to look at the language. Something about if you go from one team to the other, the guarantee contract you had over here is deducted from the guarantee contract you get at the new team. I'm like, okay, they want to be credited. They don't want you double dipping. Okay, I get that. I don't know why that was a thing. I don't even know why that's a thing. The only time that's a thing is when you work for company A and you have a guaranteed contract and you get your bonus and they don't have any language that says you got to stay here a year. If we pay you this bonus, you got to stay for a year and you're free to go. So they want to get something for the guarantee. They should have been protected themselves. That's standard language. I'm not going to give you $35 million and in 6 months send you to another team and then you get $35 million over there. I mean, that's a no-brainer. But apparently that's a thing. But they also just got vision benefits, so I don't know what the hell is going on in the NFL. So they just kind of glossing it over with Travis, making it seem like it's not the same thing, that Shamar Stewart is not even going to practice about or holding out about. And it's possible this could not be resolved before what? Training camp in July. So they got 30 days to figure it out. And what happens if Travis or Shamar Stewart decide, nope, and it don't work out? They get into the draft next year. Maybe the NFL could work it out, this, that, and the other. But I don't think either one can go back to school. I don't know. But the point is, they're trying to be hush-hush about it. And Shamar Stewart is the one that was discussed about. But now it's starting to make the rounds. Travis Hunter hasn't signed his contract yet. And now I'm like, okay, so Travis nor Shamar Stewart signed their contract. And it's 3 other guys they haven't told us about, but they're out there. So what the hell is going on, right? To me, necessarily think it's about the cash flow thing, which is A. I don't think it's about C. If you leave company A and you still got a guarantee, you don't get to claim it when you get to company B. That's common sense. That should have been the language. I think it's about B. Something about I can void your future guarantees for if something about on the field issues or whatever. I don't even know what the hell that means. And it's not. It's like they just threw it in there. Must have been on page 24, hoping they didn't read it. And you know what I'm starting to think? If 5 people are holding out about issue B, how many people signed that contract and didn't even know what the hell that meant and didn't care about it, glossed over, didn't read it? What did I suggest? Pay a lawyer to read it. It's 25 pages. It don't take long to read 25 pages. So I'm starting to think that the NFL is either trying to slide something in on 5 people, hoping to see who caught it, or they slid it in on everybody. And Travis caught it. Shamar Stewart caught it. And the other 3 that are holding out, they caught it too. And they're like, hell no, you gonna fix this. See, I read a little bit of the collective bargaining agreement, and a lot of it is about the money. It's like all they care about is the money. And their overall goal of the NFL seems to be not protecting themselves if you go from team A to team B, because that's common sense and should have already been language. It's if I guarantee this money, then you got to do this. You got to do this. So now they're saying they can void your future guarantees. So let's say you have guaranteed money and they have language like you get guaranteed money, then that's fully guaranteed money. I'm like, okay, so it's guaranteed if then, right? Or it's fully guaranteed and then it's spread out over a few years. Or if it's a signing bonus, you get that over a few years. It's like they're doing everything they can to keep paying these guys. And they definitely don't want to give them guaranteed contracts, but they want to throw in for the first rounders. Let me dangle this 5th-year option in your face that you don't get for 5 years. Check out the stats for 5th-year options. First of all, only 66% of players drafted this year not gonna even make it to the 4th year. You see how that works? So 5th-year options pertain really only to the first year. So the majority of everybody we just talking about this draft 5 years down the road not gonna even be around in year 4 to even get to year 5, and they have to exercise the option in year 3. So if you get to year 3 and they don't offer you before May 1st of year 3 an option, you're probably not gonna give it. And if you're in the first round, I think they said only the top 15, which is what Travis is a part of. 75% of the top 15 in the first round get the 5th-year option. So even a first rounder, it's irrelevant. You got to be where Travis is, the top 15. So Shamar Stewart falls outside the 5th-year option. So that might be why he's like, excuse me, I might not even get this 5th-year option. You putting in my face, hoping that I sign this contract for. And you talking about you can take away my guaranteed money. So guaranteed, fully guaranteed, and potentially guaranteed. Bro, it's either guaranteed or it's not. Look at the NBA and look at baseball. It's just guaranteed money. It's like they want levels of guaranteed. And I get it, you don't want them to double dip, but it sounds like you really not trying to give them guaranteed money. And if you get injured, that's the thing. There's an injury, guaranteed injury. I'm like, oh, okay. It's a lot here. So that's why you need somebody. See, that's why you don't need representation about where you get drafted, right? Because what determines where you get drafted? What you get paid. And we just watched them weaponize the rounds in the draft with Shedeur. Not only did it affect his rookie money, it's going to affect his overall career earnings. And he may not even have the clause in there because they don't care, because they don't even expect him to make the squad. Only 4% of 5th rounders even make the squad. And while he don't make the squad because he's not a true 5th round talent, there are a lot of people below round 2 and below that probably went ahead and signed it, the hell with it, because I might not be here. If 2/3 of the people not going to even be around, then, and they know that. So that's why most of them probably signed it. But the first rounders that signed it, they like, well, I mean, I'm top 15. That's why Cam probably didn't sign his right away. That's probably why Caleb's father and his mother, they hired a lawyer to look over Caleb's contract to try to circumvent that, because maybe it was their last year. Maybe it's not about the Bengals. Maybe that's what's affecting Travis. I don't see Travis being upset because he want all his guaranteed money in year 1. I don't see that. I just don't see it because he even showed up. So it shows you he wants to play football. I really think he cares about when he gets the guaranteed money. His contract is $43 million with 35 guaranteed, and I think it's spread out. I don't think they're holding it all to year 3, or that would be an issue because that affects what? My cash flow. But he still gets a $12 million paycheck. So I don't think that's Travis's issue. I think the issue C is what Travis is discussing and have an issue with because that's common sense. Double dipping is common sense. Nobody really wants you to do that unless you go from company A to company B. And company's still gonna give, if I give you $35 million, you gotta be here for another year. Standard. So I don't think it's A and C for Travis. I think it's the same thing as Shamar Stewart, and they don't want to say it. Be wrong. This is purely speculative. It really is. But it points out the fact that they were trying to hide that. They didn't want to tell you Travis didn't sign his contract. They wanted to paint Shamar Stewart as the lone holdout, the only person with a problem with that clause that they have slid in. And now you don't even know when you look at Travis and the others, and by process of elimination of priorities, if everybody don't have this, they gave it to certain people. And they gave it to Travis, who they think is just all bubbly and fun all the time. And he's not. He's about his money and his business. And he's not going to let you cheat him. And they wanted to ask him. Well, they asked him, so, what do you think about adjusting to the NFL? I loved his answers. Oh, it's the same for me. Nothing different. I told y'all they want the NFL. Oh, it's just so otherworldly and it's so difficult and it's complicated. No, it is not. Learning the plays is the difference. Learning the damn plays. Because at CU, the way you practice is the way you play. So all of that come in and leave everything at the doorstep is BS-ery. And then I read the collective bargaining agreement and I saw a clause in section 3, C3A, whatever the hell it is, that says you cannot have endorsements outside of the club. It's like, hold on, let me screenshot that. Wait, what? And that and you have to turn over your marketing rep's name and contact info to the NFL so they can keep tabs on what you have going on with your endorsements. So that's why they didn't want Shedeur, because he already had Nike. He already had Gatorade. It's a lot of players with a lot of endorsements right now. Primetime, that play up at Ohio State, he got Red Bull. What they want him to do? Tell Red Bull, yeah, I can't take your money no more. What? So that's a whole separate conversation. I might decide one day to see if y'all up and talk about it. Because that's the whole other thing right there. Okay, so that's why you don't see these players with any life, because they want you to be all about football. So they want you to be Mr. Football. You can't have no endorsements. So they not only want you to build a brand while you in the league. They want you to do that after you leave, apparently, because they don't want you coming with it. So up until college, until you get drafted, you can have a brand. So you have to cease and desist while you in the league, apparently. And then to keep tabs on it, you got to turn over your contact info for the people that handle your business. And then when you leave, you free to go back on Twitch and do whatever. Endorsements, not just Twitch. That's social media. Now y'all know why these guys don't have nothing. So I guess it's okay for Pat Mahomes to have an Adidas contract. Because why? Maybe the club somehow benefits or they approved it. What does that sound like? It sounds like the committee they just put in place in the NCAA. Let me look at this deal they offered you. Let me see if it's viable. Let me see if it's reasonable in terms of the money. Maybe it's too much money. It's the same thing. Let me check and see what people are trying to pay you. This is not happening anywhere else. And I ask myself, if the league was majority white in terms of skilled players, etc., would this be happening? I don't think so. I think this is crazy. So you want to believe that the NFL has 32 owners who are incestuously close. They don't make any independent decision, which means collusion happens often. They do everything to protect themselves, and they leave the players exposed and clamp down on them and stifle them from having brands, endorsements, etc. Say at Cane's Fried Chicken or whatever the hell they want to call themselves, if it didn't come through the club. But you can have Adidas because the NFL okay with that, because they want what Adidas is offering. But you can't just have any endorsement. So you basically And then that means you stuck with the money they pay you. And then when you get to the contract, you can't do this. Oh, I'm avoid you if you sneeze on the field. I tell somebody, I'm avoid your future guarantees for on the field issues, but you don't specify what the hell issues mean. This could be an issue. Remember Jimmy Horn in the end zone, peace out? Who the hell would have thought that was a problem? It wasn't a gun. It wasn't a grenade. It wasn't violent. It wasn't negative. The NFL doesn't have a clause against the piece. I mean, college football doesn't have a clause against it. Hell, the NBA don't either. But you see, they find John Morant. It's called selective. That's why they don't put the language there because I get to do it when I'm ready. So you can't have no endorsements. You got to get your signing bonus when they want to give it to you. There's fully guaranteed language. There's injury guaranteed language. There's partially guaranteed language. And then I can take it all away if you sneeze on the field because I can specify or clarify what the issues are that could get your guarantees taken away from you. That's how you keep people in line. You can't have no endorsements. I'm gonna take your guaranteed money, and it's not already guaranteed anyway. That's crazy. Y'all show y'all doing this for the love of the game because you could just start your own game. You could take all y'all can take your ball and go home. It's insane what they go through. And that's just the contract. And now they sliding stuff in and making it look like Shamar is the holdout. And here's what they're saying. I mean, the contract is non-negotiable, right? So you don't need representation. You need what? A damn lawyer. And he has a lawyer. Travis, I think, has a lawyer. I mean, if nothing else, that's what Lil Wayne agents should be looking at. They should have some lawyers around there. But he's saying his wife is his lawyer. So maybe she caught it. Or she caught something. Somebody caught something. And we don't know if Shamar's issue is Travis's issue, but they make it seem like it's Shamar. And you didn't know about Travis until right now. Because a reporter asked about it. And you know what the coach said? So how long y'all think before Travis get his contract signed? Yeah, I'm letting Cone have that. You know, I'm and you could I wish you could have saw the coach's face after he stepped back and signed stepped back. They love Travis, right? Why they ain't getting the contract yet? Is that something they need clarity? Is it something that they trying to push in on Travis and Shamar and the other three and not everybody else? Or did the other people just not read it? They just want to play football. But you don't know what you're giving up. I mean, like to me, the dude with the pink powder, his contract ought to be null and void. Because that's off the field issue. They try to tag you for on the field. Now, what is it that could happen on the field that could have your guarantee snatched? All I ever see is people playing ball. I mean, what could happen on the field that could have your guarantee snatched? Is it the celebration in the end zone? So y'all tell me, what about on the field football play or issues could come up that could make them take away your future guarantees? Let me see what y'all saying. Then we're gonna get to Shedeur. If not, it'll be 4 o'clock. Hey, how you doing? Good morning, everybody. It said, "What's up? Let's go." Hey, Rodney. It's time for the black community and black athletes to start our own league. It's time for black athletes to start their own league. The whole entire black community don't care about sports. Black athletes, this on them. Because you know why? Especially football players. You know why? See, basketball players' contracts are guaranteed. At least their contracts are guaranteed. I will say that. They got their issues, but at least their money is guaranteed. So if you want to disrespect me, okay, but you still got to pay me. Like Luca, right? They moved Luca, but he had some issues, and they knew Luca had issues, or the issues that they have a problem with were present when Mark Cuban, who sold the team conveniently afterwards, brought him in. He came in the door with what they have an issue with. They've been having issues with it since 2022, but guess what? They gave him all that money with the issues. So now what issues on the field can get an NFL player's guaranteed money taken away with vague language, which means if the player's white and he doesn't, maybe he don't have no issue with it. But then if you black, okay, I'm taking your guaranteed money away because you sneeze wrong. You see what I'm saying? And if that's what Travis is holding out for, because the language is not specific, you don't even know how it is that you can have your money snatched away from you. That's insane. And if only the 5 that are holding out have it, That means they are guinea pigs, like Shamar Stewart saying. He say, I'm not being a guinea pig. And for him to say that, he know what language is in somebody else's contract because he probably like, hey, bro, let me see. Did you have this on page 3, section 4, 2A, 2D? And they're like, nah, bro, I ain't got that. That's crazy. I told y'all, you can't get away with that. You can't just have one ball club putting something in for one person. You can't have Jacksonville putting in the same thing that only affects Shamar Stewart in Cincinnati. And then say, oh, the contract not negotiable. Then I don't need no damn agent then. So that's some BS about Shedeur should have had an agent for what? He needed a lawyer. And because he was in the 4th round, that language probably 5th round, that language probably don't even exist because they don't like, you ain't going to be here no way. So whatever. I wouldn't doubt it. It's not a surprise that these two are first rounders, top 20, because the 5th year option generally kicks in for people top 15, and that's Travis. First round, 5th year option. That is Shamar Stewart. And if you saying that I may or may not get my 5th year option because I'm outside the top 15, and you can snatch away my guaranteed money, well, what the hell do I have? What how you get in the first year? And then you got to pay taxes on that. Glad I caught the show. What's up, fam? Hey, how you doing? It said 40 people. Can you hit the like button? Yes, thank you. Sounds like politics of control. Yeah, it does. It said your content is spot on. Thank you, Andre. Above reproach and second to none. Thank you. Please have someone adjust your audio so that you don't go in and out. Okay, I think I know what that is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Go in and out. Your microphone is moved around. That's because I happen to like the color of these headphones. So that's all me. Thank you. Maybe I need to switch back to the other ones that I had, the red ones that are wireless. I just like the color because it matched my logo. But thank you for that. Shador has Louis Vuitton and Mercedes endorsements too. Right. And see, he already had those. So my question would be, are you trying to say that he can't get any additional endorsements since he's now in the league? Because you surely can't tell him to leave them at the door. They said it, but it's not legal language. That's just what they said. And that can be interpreted a couple of different ways. But when you put it in the contract that you can have no endorsements outside the club, like Travis has a patch on his jersey that says Dream Homes. I don't know if everybody has that patch, or did they make a deal with Travis, or did Jacksonville make the deal with the company whose patch they are wearing? So essentially, the NFL want to control every endorsement that a player gets, even though these players are now what? Coming into the league as brands. I told y'all the NFL is not NIL friendly. They don't want you to already have touch money because it's harder to control you. Like Shamar Stewart clearly is not poor and living in under a bridge. Well, it would be a shame to come all this way. That's the attitude you're supposed to have. That's the attitude you're supposed to have. But see, it also shines a light on why they were comfortable with back in the day getting those players that were illiterate. Because you could do anything to them and they don't have no idea because they can't read. But you went to college. But they didn't want to touch Dante Culpepper because of his SAT scores. They didn't want to touch him because he was phenomenal. That's what. And when I say they, I mean what they call the big schools. They sent him down to Division 2, 3, or whatever UCF was at the time. They knew he was good. They didn't want Dante Culpepper competing against the likes of whoever was in college at these big schools. They didn't want Dante Pepper to outshine whoever they wanted to highlight and put on a pedestal. So they thought sending Dante Culpepper down to UCF, a lower division, less TV, oh, nobody ever gonna see him. See, they never think this guy is that good that everybody wants to see it. And when you're good, that you're gonna stand out. See, they never think like that. But they think like that for Travis. Oh, he good on both sides of the ball. Come on, we want you. But now what he got to issue with? His contract. So then, after they get you, oh, this is about business. This ain't about me liking you. This is about business. We don't like you that much. Only with all 5 players that have a problem with their contracts look like. I wonder if it's true that only a select few players got this contract, and Travis was one of those select players. See, that's that reminder, that splash of water in the face. This ain't about them liking you. This is about business. So when they asked Travis about Madden rating, he stood there like, I don't give a damn about that. I'm here to play football, so I'm gonna need my contract signed. See, he's showing up every day. Shemar Stewart is not. That could be Travis. But you know what they told him? They told him, go ahead on and go. They still gonna have to fix that contract. So one day, because the ball is in their court, he either gonna show up or he not, or they gonna fix it or they not. But they can't say, oh, you didn't show up and blame him. See, now the ball's in their court. Because it's something that either should not be there. They thought he wasn't gonna read it or something. But the NFL, like, I mean, the contract is non-negotiable. Yeah, but that don't mean the language is valid. That don't mean you can put a clause in one person's contract. You can't take a rookie standard contract and just throw something in there without saying, hey, there's an addendum. I need you to look at this. You ever bought a mortgage? You ever bought a house? You ever bought a car? If it's not in warranty, they have to tell you. They have to tell you what all works and what does not. You either have to choose to buy it with the full warranty. They got to tell you when the warranty ends, or that there's no warranty at all. And if something happened, that's on you. See, they got to do that. Why they didn't do that with the NFL contract? Why they didn't do that with the NFL contract? Why they just slid in something? And why they make it seem like it's only Shamar? Because they didn't want you to know that Travis Hunter got a problem. See, you don't know Shamar. You could think he crazy because they can sell it to you like that. But you know Travis. So you know something is up. They need control. They need those players broke and eager to give up their autonomy. Right. And that's what they're used to. See, this current generation, they not used to these guys coming in wealthy. See, Travis is wealthy. Travis said before the draft, go play baseball. I think he should have. I'm not gonna lie. I think he should have. Shedeur on the negotiating list for Canada. Could happen. It could happen. Because see, can Shedeur get up and walk away from the Browns without any kind of breach of contract? If he signed his contract, no. But they can cut him at any time. Read the section about waivers. That contract is about the NFL protecting itself against the people that do the work. And they just left exposed. And now they slide the stuff in. This is going to be interesting. Because, see, we know Travis. Right? Right. They tried to prevent Black players from creating generational wealth without leading the league. That's it right there. And see, people don't want to admit that. But I heard something today. Y'all know who Lorenz Tate is, right? I don't know if y'all have realized this, but now that you can look back, hindsight is 2020. But see, a lot of people do this along the way. Now that you can look back, everybody in entertainment, Black music, movies, etc., TV show, they all related. And now that you know who the gatekeeper was in the hip hop era, everybody had to go through that way. And that's why some of them were harmed. But the ones that didn't go the other way is because, did y'all know Lorenz Tate was the grandson of Red Fox, the comedian? Did y'all know Brandy, Snoop, all related? All these people related, and they don't say nothing until you find out about it. Timbaland, Pharrell, a lot of people related. I insist that Keke Palmer is related to Angela Bassett. I could be wrong, but somewhere along there. But it seemed like in the late 80s, early 90s, that a lot of people got on because of who was already in the industry they were related to. I put my cousin on, and that's how it should be, right? And see, they hate nepotism now because look at how it worked for us back then. But see, Lorenz Tate said something, and I'm starting to see these posts, people talk about it in other areas. People are now realizing that the people they put before you, the singers back in the 80s and 90s, they went broke because they were never supposed to be rich. They were supposed to look chosen. If you black and you want to make it, this is what you got to do. Because see, a lot of people that live in the current generation don't know that they basically prohibited black men from getting jobs. They made it very difficult. They used to have a joke that they tell. It's racist. What's the one thing a black man can't get? That's what they would tell amongst each other. That was the 60s and the 70s, right? So what you see with the NFL, who've been around since the 1920s, you already know about the race norming straight off the plantation. Their contracts are not about them being enriched. Their contracts are about them working. And that's why there's so many landmines that keep popping up that threaten their wealth. But see, if I want to pay you and I value you, I'm not going to have a fully guaranteed, a partially guaranteed, a injury guaranteed, this, that, and the other. And I'm not going to slide anything on first rounders, especially Travis Hunter, who I know can exercise his 5th-year option. But then he might not get it because if he gets injured twice or more, and I just don't want to give it to him, I can say, "Oh, you injury prone." But then there's Trevor Lawrence, right? They tied him until 2030. He ain't gonna complain about nothing. He gets injured, right? So maybe they put it in there, the clause. Maybe they did put it in only a few, and they just chose who they thought was gonna pay attention. Because see, when they see you happy and dancing all the time, they're like, "Oh yeah, he could get him." See, that's the danger in that. That's the danger in that because that's Winston. That's Jameis Winston's problem. They saw him. They see him as the MC of the NFL, as the jokester. They don't take him seriously in their career. That's why you gotta be careful on how you present yourself to people. I like Travis, and I'm happy for him. But now that we know that his contract is not signed, and you see him getting a little shorter with his answers, and like I'm here about football, and I ain't buy no house, like I'm not stupid. Then you think I done spent $3 million on a house and I ain't got no contract. So you think I'm stupid? Yeah. So maybe chill out with all that. You had your moment. Now come on now, because you see how they see you. You see how they see you. You and Jameis Winston, they looking at both of y'all saying they're gonna have you out there with a microphone, being a little. That's why you gotta be careful. You gotta know the environment that you're in. Yeah, you happy you fulfilled your dream, but reality is the environment you're in closely mimics two things: slavery and Jim Crow. I'm saying no. Sounds like paid slaves, right? Because I don't want you to be rich. See, Coach Prime did what? That's why he was only one of the few to be where he is. And you see, they didn't want him to get there. And I'll be honest, the statement the NFL made this year, y'all ain't gotta go to Colorado because me and Coach Prime, we ain't like that. That's what they did. They helping out their buddies at these other schools who don't want to have to compete with Coach Prime for recruits because that's just Colorado. But it's also the Prime effect, and they want to negate that too. They want to say, "Oh, that's nothing." You could go to any school. You could go to Alabama and still get recruited. If you're a black quarterback, you might want to keep it on. Because there's enough of them that went through there. Hurts, Milrow, and now Keelan Russell, that should make you find somewhere else to go. Because they're gonna make it hard for you to get out anyway. So you might as well go to Colorado so you can enjoy the whole process and get a good education and be developed as a QB and not underdeveloped because I don't want you to make it past Alabama. These little contracts they pushing is crazy. Yeah. Wait a minute. And see, they're not talking about it. Why the media not saying now? Why didn't I have the conversation we had? Travis Hunter had signed his contract. What's really going on? I thought it was just short sport. He's just holding out. So meaning Travis is showing up. And he could have chose not to show up too. It must be something serious. Why not having that conversation? Because they already know. The media shows you at least once a week as a reminder that they are the right hand of the NFL. I saw a thumbnail today that I said was straight messy from ESPN. It had Aaron Rodgers, the big photo, and down at the bottom was Shedeur. So now they want to dig because Shedeur didn't go to Pittsburgh because Aaron Rodgers has a quote out here saying, what? I told Pittsburgh, they'll get Shedeur. Don't even worry about me. Like he the damn prize. And then they let him act like he the prize. And they chose to overvalue, in my opinion, Aaron Rodgers and devalue Shador Sanders. And now they out here got something going on with Travis Hunter. So you can't say it's just about Shador. They protect themselves at all costs. You are expendable every day of the week. And most of y'all ain't gonna even make it to year 4. Your contract is 4 years. So that means you really got an undrafted free agent contract, which is 3 years. You see how that they set them up? Well, let's give them a 4-year contract. They'll think they're around for 4 years. They'll try to get there, and we're gonna cut them at 3. Why is the 3-year important? The retirement benefits. When do they kick in? Year 3 or year 4? I think it's year 3. So y'all ain't gonna make it, and that's strategic. Yeah, I'm gonna pay you $20 million. You're gonna get out, and guess what? Most of the money come on the back end. See, you don't get the most of the money up front. See, somebody with a $40 million contract that's making $10 million a year, that's what you would expect. Because that's typical, right? I'm going to just divide it into 4. I'm going to give you the least amount in year 1. Then I'm going to give you 25% in year 2, because I read the language. And then I'm going to give you another 25% in year 3. And then year 4 is when you get the big kahuna. 1, it ain't guaranteed. And 2, that league length average career is 3 years. So you don't get the big chunk. See how they set themselves up? That's crazy, bro. See all this here? Ain't no reason these guys should not have their own league out of this class right here. This ought to be it. This right here. This be it. I mean, how many more signs do you need, bro? This is not how it goes. You don't see this happening in baseball. You don't see this happening in basketball. They doing everything. They threw the kitchen sink at Shedeur to keep him from being QB1, and we still seeing it, right? Well, guess what? Now, when it comes to the contract, that's not just a Shedeur. That includes Travis too. So that means they don't give a damn about nobody. We want what we want, how we want it, and we're going to value who we want to, and we don't care what the hell you think about it. And you can't say they're doing it for the bag because it ain't even no guarantee you going to get it. And Lord forbid you get injured. And we already know they took Michael Vick's signing bonus back 5 years after they gave it to him. It's like, who does that? Is that language in there? Like, because who does that? That means you got to walk on pins and needles your entire career because I'm going to turn around after year 13 and snatch back your $40 million signing bonus. Travis got a $35 million signing bonus. When is it actually his? When does he get it? All of it. When is it actually his? Or are you going to hold that signing bonus over his head and snatch it from him if something happens on or off the field now? Because that's what they did to Michael Vick. I was like, how they just going to take his signing bonus back? See, it's one thing to forfeit money because you don't want to play no more. That's what Derek Carr did. He like, all right, I ain't coming back. So he had to forfeit money. But he made over 200 some odd million. So for him to let them have 30, okay. That ain't no big thing. It ain't like he had it and had to give it back. He never had it anyway. Can't miss what you never had. You like, you know what? Instead of me getting 230 million, I'm gonna just get in and walk away with 200 million. For what kind of performance? So now let's talk about Shador Sanders in the trade spot since we're talking about performance. Okay, we already knew about Jacksonville. Now I'm gonna tell y'all that still could be a play. I don't know how it could happen. I must admit. But there is a rumor that Shedeur could end up in the AFC division, the same division with the Titans. Now the teams that are in that division are the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Titans and somebody else. Now, I know why they said Indianapolis, because it was said because Anthony Richardson is hurt, that Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur could find themselves in Indianapolis. because we know Cleveland got too many quarterbacks, and Deshaun Watson's not going anywhere. So that's why Indianapolis is on deck. Jacksonville, also in that same division with the Titans, is on deck because apparently there was a discuss within people on the inside that Shedeur was going to end up in Jacksonville eventually. Like, I go from Cleveland after this season, we cut him or we make a trade and he go to Jacksonville. And I'm like, good, because that's when you can give him his money. Just like Deshaun Watson, traded from the Texans, ended up instead of $10 million, making $46 million. So he got his money in that transition. So I'm like, good, that's when you can give him his money, even though I think they need to give it to him all at once and just apologize, but that's not going to happen. Because if you read them contracts, you can see they don't care about none of them. Travis neither. So the next team, Detroit. Okay. And Kirk Cousins. Let's talk about that. Kirk Cousins is staying in Atlanta. It came up. There was a hypothesis, a proposal from one of the media people. Oh, what about Kirk Cousins? That's how that started. So that's purely speculative. They were just talking. And as of last night, he was staying in Atlanta as a backup to who? Michael Penix Jr. So he ain't safe behind the dude that failed last year. Does that sound familiar? Will Levis and Cam, but at least Atlanta is on the record saying that Penix is QB1 and that Kirk Cousins is the backup. See, that's the label Kirk Cousins didn't want. But he getting paid a hell of a lot of money to be a backup, so he ought to just be quiet. Because he is a backup. Again, a 2% battery life, but he's part of that club. The only person who won that trade from Minnesota to Atlanta was Kirk Cousins' agent. So then let's move on to Detroit. Okay. So last night I told y'all I'm gonna need to look at this because I don't know how I feel about it. And I do hear people talking about it, but again, it seems to be born out of purely speculative when you have media members saying, what if Detroit, who doesn't seem to be happy with their backups, gets Shedeur and send Hendrickson, the dude from Tennessee, number 5, who's second on the depth chart. What if they send him to Cleveland? Because supposedly they might not be happy with him, but his story is very interesting. I need to add him to the list. I didn't even know he was over there. He came out and was drafted in 2023 in the 3rd round. See a lot of these 3rd round. He's number like 68, right? So 98, something like that. And so kind of like Bill and Gabriel, right? So they drafted him in 23. In 24, it don't even look like in the season in 2023, it don't look like he played at all. But they drafted him coming off an ACL injury, right? So I'm like, okay, he didn't play the first year. The second year in 2024, he only had 68 yards. They didn't let him play at all. So that's the guy. They want to take him. He's black from Tennessee and send him to Cleveland for Shedeur. So Shedeur would basically end up in the QB2 spot. That's what it is. After we see Shedeur running QB2, running with the tools, right? Which we say it was good. See, I'm gonna just say this. Shedeur getting a raw deal all the way around. Robbed of his money, robbed of the perks that come with the first round, robbed of the 5th year option. Because we know he would have been number 2, so he would have definitely been part of those very small group that actually get to exercise. Robbed of the endorsements that come with the first round. Why? Because the league don't want you to have endorsements outside the club. See, bringing his wide receiver that he of his choice from Colorado, just like Cam brought what? Restrepo, right? Even though Restrepo was 4th on the depth chart, he still brought it, right? So robbed of that, robbed of a signing bonus that's guaranteed, even though they can snatch away because that's what they fight about. He's robbed of a lot of things. He's robbed of his career earnings. If I'm drafted number 2 and I make $43 million for the 4 years, when it's time for my 5th year option, with inflation, that's pushing on $300 million for the next 5 years. And we know he's good. He's also robbed of all of these roster bonuses, possibly Pro Bowl bonuses, this, that, the other. Who knows? I don't know what's in his contract because apparently they ain't all the same, like they saying. They must have addendum pages that are all different. And I can understand that. But see, they give you the premise of, you need to negotiate. That comes out of the NFL. They make it, oh, it's all about the money and you can't choose it anyway, so just go ahead and sign. But then some people rent. So Shador got robbed out of a lot. And then you see he catching hell because they want to pigeonhole him like he's a developmental talent, right? So he got robbed out of a lot. And then now, well, let's go ahead. While he done figured this out in Cleveland and then finally people being nice to him, well, let's disrupt him and send him over here to Detroit, where he number 2, where the last guy only had 68 yards. Oh, we just gave Jared Goff money at 2024, so Shador ain't gonna never start. That's still burying him on the depth chart. He just not buried down. He's buried behind somebody, just like Jalen Milroe, who's buried behind Sam Darnold, and Goff and Darnold. It's the same narrative. Oh, Jalen will never see the field because Sam Darnold. We just paid him. I'm like, are y'all shorts? Hello, injury. It happens. That's how Jalen Hurts got where he is. So the same thing could happen with Shedeur at number 2. And while it is still early, it's disruptive. And I see where they use instability, disruption as a weapon. Go from this team, learn these books, compete. Okay, you good here? Now go over here and start over. I don't like that. And we know we don't see that happening with Cam. We just see other things happening, but we don't see the disruption. We see I'm making you fight for it, even though he's an automatic QB1. Even though he's QB1, he still got to compete with the guy from last year. So I don't really like it because against all odds and their hatred, giving him an environment that's cold and condescending, he elevated. He won outright. So why make him move and start over competing with Jared Goff like he was competing with Flacco, whether they wanted to admit it or not? So now he got to start over. Why? Send Kenny Pickett somewhere. Send Dylan Gabriel somewhere. Just like they want to move Winston. Why not the hell move DeVito? Where he at? With his heels kicked up. Send him somewhere. Let him start over. Why it got to be the black QBs that always got to start over and compete? Whereas people like Aaron Rodgers get overpaid. They overvalued him and they put him in front of who? Russ. It was bad enough that they massaged the stats to show yards and make it look like Aaron was better than Russ because they had been trying it. But when you looked at QBR, Russ was the second best QB in free agency, but they paid Aaron Rodgers more. And they also let Aaron Rodgers have what? The ability to say, if y'all pick Shador, I ain't coming. I want to see how this going to work out. Because he wasn't good last year. His last coach got fired. They say that's why he right there in Pittsburgh. So what's my motto? If you damned if you do, and you damned if you don't. You might as well do the right thing. And Mike Tomlin should have just drafted Shedeur because he catching hell left and right. He catching hell from the people that say they betrayed him, and now they on the media saying, "Yep, he sure did betray Shedeur because he could have got him, but he wanted Aaron Rodgers." I don't think Tomlin wanted Aaron Rodgers. They lying. Somebody else wanted Aaron Rodgers because on January 31st, on about, there's a whole ass caption that says the Pittsburgh Steelers want to keep who? Russell Wilson. And then the next thing you know, he was forced out. So they lying. They just want to get rid of Mike Tomlin, but they know they got language that's legal that they got to somewhat, maybe haphazardly abide by or give the impression that they gonna do what's right. That would be a first. So yeah, Shedeur was robbed of a lot. Mike Tomlin is on the chopping block. He might as well should have just got Shedeur, but he not a GM. See, he a coach. But you know who could have got Shedeur against all odds? Andrew Berry, because he got who? Deshaun Watson. Hell, you passed on Shador Sanders, but you got Deshaun Watson. You cut for him for $240 million guaranteed with no language. If you do this shit here, we're gonna take this money back. And then two years later, you sneak in and quietly add in the language. It just sounds like a Mickey Mouse shop. What's really going on? So now that we know Travis Hunter has not signed his contract, and he wasn't looking like he was in a dancing mood today. People like, Travis, something. What's going on with Travis? And they're like, it's probably he just want to get his cash flow right. He want to get all his guaranteed. Maybe he want to be paid for playing on both sides of the ball. That is an incentive that they could maybe put in there for him. I'm like, that's less than $1 million. Here, he just spent 3/4 of a billion on a damn truck. So no, that ain't it either. Maybe he does want to be paid both ways. I don't see why they will fight that because they out here showing him off on both sides. So why wouldn't you give him a measly $300 or $500,000 for both sides? Because that was the number. Then again, maybe he want more. I don't know. We shall see. So Detroit is speculative. I don't like it. Shedeur won outright over here. They need to do the right thing. Now, y'all said y'all want guys will to be done, and I agree. So of course, whatever God opened that door for Shedeur to go to Detroit, it is what it is. I ain't gonna worry about it. But if you ask me, no, he just won outright over here. He shouldn't be disrupted and moved over there, which they know is supposed to be harder for him to learn. But he just don't shine over there too. But that's not right. Like, stop messing with this man. Leave him alone. He is your franchise QB, but they trash. And they know they're gonna trade him at the end of the year anyway. So just let him play the year, ball out, and then you know what, we'll just go to Jacksonville. And maybe they're gonna end up with Trevor Lawrence's contract because they seem to like big, fat, overvalued contracts. They like those kind of people. So maybe they'll just send Deshaun Watson somewhere in 2026 and take on Trevor Lawrence's contract. And Shedeur, who was given the number 12, will just end up down there with 12. That's the hope. That's the hope. So I say leave him where the hell he is and let him be QB2 or split the season as QB1 or 2 with who? Flacco. Flacco is good for 7 games, 8 max. Let him start the season. They say it's the harder part. Okay, that gives us time to see the O-line. And then if Shedeur end up playing 10 or 11 games, guess who QB1 for the season is? Documented. Shador Sanders. So I'm cool with that. I want him to be disrupted right now. I don't think that's right. But I also pray guys will be done. So God knows best. We'll go with that. But that's just my 2 cents. All right. It says they're trying to recreate the plantation. They're not trying to recreate it. It never left. They find you if you don't do what they say. Lynch didn't do a press conference and would find him. He didn't participate. Oh, that's the one that Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Right. It's stuff like that. And see, the NFL Players Association, it don't seem like they have a lot of power because they know what's in these guys' contracts, right? So how is it that they have a CBA and the NFL Players Association is not standing up for these players? Isn't that their job to represent the players? So what you're telling me is the CBA group or the NFL Players Association knew that this language was coming? Why haven't they come out, had a press conference? They're not allowed to. It wouldn't surprise me. They're not allowed to do a lot. There's a lot of control happening in those contracts of your whole life. And then I can take everything away and you leave empty handed in 3 years. So everything that they present to you, you might not even be around to get. And they just got vision benefits. That's crazy. All of this meaningless Aaron Rodgers coverage is for certain people to feel safe. I agree, D. It said Tomlin could have made a public statement on getting Shedeur, and that's why I don't respect him. Actually, he did. Mike Tomlin said what happened. They don't want to talk about what he said. I think I got a screenshot of it. He said, I think the caption was, and this was right after the draft. Something about why did Mike Tomlin explains why Shador Sanders, why he didn't pick Shador Sanders. Notice they said he. There is a GM, right? Did you see Andrew Barry? Okay. Why you don't see the GM? And see, they want to put it on Mike Tomlin. See, they want to get rid of him. But see, he has a winning record. He has no discipline issues. Something else I noticed about Mike Tomlin's career, they gave him all the problematic players. I heard somebody say, yep, when Mike Tomlin call you and tell you I got a player for you, people hang up. Why they give him all the problematic players? Oh, he's good with helping to settle down the George Pickens of the world. Juju, Schuster. Why they give him those kind of players? Because they was hoping what? That he probably would end up with a winning record because, that's called disruption. That's like Shedeur being sent right now on the last day of minicamp when he's the best QB. This man's average, not counting rookie camp, completion rate is 77%. on open OTAs. We know he balled out in closed OTAs too. So it's higher than that. I'll push it on 80. I would give him about 80%. And I'm not surprised because he didn't have an O line. And see, they knew that. But they wanted to hold the O line against him. But understand that there were people associated with O line 1 and half of O line 2 that knew that Shedeur was headed to the NFL and they were trying to mess it up for him in college, just like they did Milroe. Like Coco Golf in the French Open, one thing you can't deny is what you see in front of you. She's a beast. So is Shador. Angel Reese out here just set a record for 30 double doubles. As much as they hate on her, they hate on her and Shador with the same level of intensity of hatred. I've been saying that. That's what made me start this channel. The vitriol that they both get. And they both at the top of their game. Coco Golf too. You can't deny when you see them balling out who they are. These reporters can say all they want. The league can say all they want. The league can try to hold Shador back all he wants. They just did and failed. He's the best QB they have. But we cool with Flacco starting. That don't take away that he's not the best QB they have. They said the owner was out there last night, right? Yesterday. Is that why everybody was being nice to Shador? I think so. I think the owner, they said, I read, he shows up to camp. That's what he does. I guess he want to see what's going on. 102 of us, thank you, thank you. Rodgers is known to do his own thing and ignore coaches, plays they call. He's gonna be a problem, right? And that's why, because even Pittsburgh fans were like, why are they trying to force Aaron Rodgers on us? Now you see why. They want to get rid of your coach. See, fans not gonna like that. Because Mike Tomlin, it is true. What? He has not had a losing season, and last year he elevated Russell Wilson, who they wanted to be QB2, just like Shedeur. He elevated Russell Wilson to QB1, and they went to the playoffs. And who messed it up, they say? George Pickens. And where is he? He just got what he wanted out of Pittsburgh, and now he in Dallas. And not Aaron Rodgers is in Pittsburgh with his problematic self. To the Danica Patrick story. Are they just not going to look into what she alleged about him? They just going to ignore that? All right. We know what happens when you ignore problems. They get bigger. 17, 18 to 19. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's funny. I love it. Rodgers and Flacco won't last the season because they are in the AFC North and oh, right, right. D. And you know what somebody said that I thought was hilarious? They said y'all talking about Flacco playing against other quarterbacks. Oh, he got to play against other defenses. And if you know about the 2023 season, the last game he played in, he took one of them Pat Mahomes hits like in the Super Bowl. Just dialed back a little bit, but it had the same effect. And Pat Mahomes immediately went cut his hair. I like Pat now because he gets it. He gets it. But Flacco not gonna make it. That's why he was on the practice squad in 2023. He's not good for a whole season. So really and truly, whether the media knows it, and they likely do, setting Flacco up for only 7 games, they know Shedeur is technically QB1. You're not QB1 because you start the season. You QB1 if you play the most games, front or back, it don't matter. That's why I don't argue about the QB1. But he damn sure better be QB2 because he's better than everybody out there. And sure, let Flacco go first so we can see what in the chat. Why don't we, what she said, sports podcast community, the majority of us, not everybody, why do we want Flacco to go first? Because we want to see what? Drop it in the chat. Gracie said Jared Benford, exactly. So now he's with another organization, giving lackluster performance and deep too. And they ignoring what Danica Patrick said. Okay. Good afternoon, Amber. Hey, how you doing? It said Tomlin has done a great job as a coach in spite of all the distractions and his what? And his hand, MS being tied on multiple situations. Right. I think they sent him all the problematic players so that he would not succeed. And despite it, he still succeeded. No, nah, I'm gonna tell you, if they fire him, whether they do or don't, Mike Tomlin need to write a book. He really needs to write a book about his NFL journey and what he experienced, especially if they fire him. It need to be on the presses within 30 days. The statement Tomlin made was different tone than the one he made before the draft. Yeah, it was, but what he did say immediately after the draft, he said there were these phone calls. We had to listen to these phone calls. Y'all know how the green room set up. You know the call was on speaker. And that was a direct threat to his job, just like Hasman coming out and telling us publicly what he could have told Andrew Berry one-on-one or in a team meeting. All right, we took a big swing and miss with Deshaun Watson, so we need to unbury ourselves. Here's the exact statement. Although we have been publicly and extensively pre-drafted Shador Sanders and we're planning to make him, Shador Sanders, our franchise quarterback, on second thought and after further consideration, we took a big swing and miss with Deshaun Watson. Therefore, we need to unbury ourselves from that first. So we don't need to spend that kind of money on a quarterback, which is why they gave it to a defensive tackle when they needed O-line and receivers. That's the whole story. We want to see the O-line hold up. Yep, the line. Yep. What the O-line looks like for Cleveland. Yep. O-line production. Yep. That's what we want to see. The owner's collusion continues. Yep. Shedeur will be traded away before the season starts. I don't know. See, it's a lot of variables out there. It's still a lawsuit out there about Shedeur. I mean, not about Shedeur, but about the draft and what happened. So the way they moved in the draft, even though we see them moving like that now, if they target Shedeur, I mean, it could trigger another one. It could trigger a second lawsuit because you still at it. That's what people could say. Right? So what? I gotta move while I'm still being bold. I'm also being slick with it, right? And we did see him move up to QB2. So that lessens that trigger because, okay, I kind of see you starting to recognize him. And there are people that saying he should be QB1 and he should. But we're not making that argument. What's the point of it? He going to be QB1 if he plays 10 or 11 games. So, okay, no point in arguing about what we can't see. He might start here. He might be in game 2 to the end. But then Cleveland is capable of rotating 5 quarterbacks because I saw it in 2023. So no point in arguing about QB1 when we see the chemistry between Flacco and Shedeur. We see the respect between Shedeur definitely to Flacco, and I believe Flacco back to Shedeur as of late. So the chemistry is there. That's who should be sharing a locker, and they can make it a 3-way locker and put Jerry Jeudy in there if they want to, but they better get another receiver. Because having Shedeur with nobody to throw to and potentially a problematic O-line ensures that you're going to have a ground game and he's going to be on the bench. That's what that means. That's why they run a 2 running back set. So no point arguing about QB1. But what he should not be is a 4-string QB. What he should not be is behind Dylan Gabriel or Kenny Pickett. So I'm taking QB2 for now. And no, I don't want him to go to Detroit and start all over with this BS. No. No disruption. That is a weapon. No. Stay right there in Cleveland. If damn jerseys is rolling out, because that's going to piss some people off. They can be like, damn jersey. So that ain't going to happen. He going to be right there. And we going to see him in the preseason. And he probably going to ball out. And it's going to make him hard. It's going to make it hard for people to say, oh my God, you need to start him. Because they're already saying it. Because the way Shedeur and Travis and LeJohntay is mic'd up for Baltimore. Yup, they got our guy LeJohntay Wester mic'd up for Baltimore. Getting instruction one-on-one from Harbaugh, his coach. Anyway, so the way you practice is the way you play. Anybody heard any update about Will Shepherd? I'm going to look into that. I know he tried out with them. They had minicamp. They had several people invited. Will Shepherd was one. I hope they signed him. Will is too good not to play. I don't know what the hell happened in Tampa, but apparently it's not an issue in Denver. So I'm hoping he makes the squad in Denver. Do I wish he could have went back to Tampa where Shiloh is? Yes. In fact, you know what I was thinking? I hope Denver get him and trade him to where? Because somebody need a wide receiver. Cleveland. Cleveland needs a wide receiver. What y'all think about them actors? He working out with them. Them will pick him up, trade him to Cleveland. Shedeur gets one of his wide receivers. I don't think it's one he's gonna pick, but it's okay. I think we all know who that was. But I got LeJohntay wired Mike up. I listened to it today. I loved it. Taking great instruction. They were teaching him how to do a 360 pivot, running a route. I love the play. LeJohntay in Baltimore, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. Oh, Zay Flowers, Zay Flowers, whatever his name is. Then they had number 16. I remember him. That's the one that caught the ball in the ice and didn't have no problem with it. Then they went back to Andrews. I'm not gonna ever forget that because I think it's something there. It's going to be hard to hold them back this year, Baltimore. And see, then that's another thing. See, Shador and Deshaun are in the same conference with the same division with Lamar, right? So then it's Lamar, Burrow, either Shador or Deshaun, but not Deshaun. So Shador or Flacco. And who's the other person? It's the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers. So when I saw ESPN put Shedeur and the Steelers, I was like, Shedeur, I know what they say. They want to get to the part where they talk about Shedeur playing against Aaron Rodgers. That should happen twice. I do believe that division games, they play twice. So that's 8 games. So we need to look at the calendar. So, but I saw what happened to Flacco. And the same thing could happen to Aaron Rodgers because he's older than Flacco. And he does act like a diva. And the reason why I say that, I don't know why he thinks that he offers anything that truly allows him to have all of these choices. Russ had to wait until New York decided what the hell they was going to do with Aaron Rodgers. As if Russ didn't just take Pittsburgh to the playoffs and Aaron Rodgers got his coach fired. Then what else did they allow? Well, I mean, if y'all going to get Shedeur, y'all can forget about me. Why allowing him all these choices and he ain't even good? Hell, he related to? Why does this 2% battery life for? Yeah, I don't want to live in Louisiana. I'm not going there. Why he got so many damn choices? Why can he choose the Saints? Why can he ignore the Giants and then Russ got to wait until he make a decision? And why isn't he get to tell Pittsburgh, if y'all don't get Shedeur, don't even worry about me? It's not like he won a Super Bowl last year, went or got close to it. He got his coach fired. That's just crazy. I think Shedeur could be in Dallas. I'll take it. They say they're gonna start that. I'm like, did y'all just say he was developmental? Y'all say he got on training wheels, but you're gonna start him. I'm gonna be honest with you, that's the only trade I'm going with until I sit down and think about some others that I prefer. Jacksonville is first on my list. No brainer, no explanation needed. Take Dallas. I will take Dallas. I take that as an apology, and I know he's gonna get his money. I will take Dallas, and that fixes that relationship with Coach Prime and Jerry because they was tight. And I know Jerry, Prime. I had to do it, Prime. You know how they make me do Prime. They gonna do, and Coach gonna forgive him. So I'm going with that. I'm gonna take Dallas. Another team, I'll take Miami. Obvious reasons. It's not Cleveland, and he does have a clear shot to get to QB1 eventually. Who else? Where else would I think? Teams y'all think? Somebody said Dallas. Drop another team y'all think. I'm Jacksonville. I'm Dallas and Miami. I'm gonna just roll with those 3. What are some teams y'all would like to see Shedeur if there's a trade, a potential? This is just a speculative hypothesis. What teams or team would you like to see Shedeur playing for if we could choose as a podcast community? He's not going to Dallas. No, he might. He might. I don't know. He could. I think that this is the end game of the collusion. It's set up for Jerry to get him on the cheap. Jerry wants Deion the coach. I think Jerry wants Deion the coach, but I take, Amber and D having that conversation. So let me ABC my way out. Getting y'all's conversations. I love the engagement. Colts or the Lions? Okay, you like the Colts, Indianapolis Colts. I don't like neither one of them. It's Detroit. Be over there with a girl watching videos on YouTube going, do I want to go up here? No, Detroit is nice. I know that. Indianapolis, See, I can look at everything. I like Miami because obvious, right? Miami's nice, you know. Dallas is nice, and he's Dallas, so that's cool, and that's a win-win. And yes, Jerry could have got him for cheap, just like Cleveland did. And was Cleveland happy about it? No. So that tell you they was forced into it. He's better than Dak, but Dak just got a big contract. See, that's that right there. Let me overpay him so I can block somebody else from it. See, they need to bitch that if he's a problem. I remember people were fighting for Dak to get paid. Now everybody's like, this is ridiculous. Jerry is the only one who wants Deion, and Deion said not right now. He's not better than Dak. Y'all high. Welcome, motivated, but you might want to tread carefully asking them kind of questions. You know, it's a click up in here, I think. Family. Motivated, like he's not better than Dak. What y'all think about that? If Jerry has Shedeur, Deion might speed it up and come to the NFL. That's what they saying about Jacksonville. See, it ain't just about Shador going to Jacksonville. It's about Shador eventually going to Jacksonville and Coach Prime eventually joining Shador as a coach in Jacksonville. That's the whole T. Pac-Man Jones and his co-host Shapiro talked about over 2 different episodes. Haven't heard it again. Now, haven't heard it again. And then Travis ain't got no contract, so I don't know how good the people in Jacksonville really are. It said you should read what the 2 hosts on 92.3, the fan said this morning, a trade show about getting Gabriel, Pickett, and Shedeur facts. Are you talking about Detroit? The fan said this morning on the show about, what they said about. Okay, I'll listen to it. Gabriel, Pickett, or Shedeur, or somebody want to summarize it. Dak throws an interception every time the game is on the line. Shedeur does not shake. Right. And ESPN gave their thoughts about the season and who gonna do what. Why did they go down the line based on TV order for the top 2? First, they talked about Kansas City and Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs. Then they talked about Dallas, and I looked at the TV. I was like, are they using the TV list to talk about the ones with the prime? They're gonna talk about the ones in order of the prime time games. That's what I picked up from it. But remember, that happens because why? They have contracts with them too to show their games. So yeah, we're gonna talk about we talking about Pittsburgh because we can talk about Shador, and now that they're in the same conference, we can definitely talk about that. But in terms of all other news that's not Shador Sanders or Aaron Rodgers, because they want to make that a thing. Let's talk about in order of who have primetime games, so people will be interested and go watch. That's called marketing. Shador needs 2 years before he's ready to play in the NFL. Motivated and dedicated. You want a slippery slope. False. That will keep going. False. The best markets. What does it say? The best markets what? The best markets for Shador's big charisma is Miami, Dallas, the Jets, New Orleans, and LA. Okay. Political ill, the New Orleans Saints. Okay. Amber said, no, please engage with us. Okay, so motivated. They want you to engage with them, so please do so. There is no collusion. Prime will never coach in the NFL. See, y'all asked for this. Amber, we actually don't know what Shador will be like in the NFL, but I see your point. Anthony Richardson just got hurt again. They're gonna trade him. They don't want him to start no way. Daniel Jones is there. That's why Shador going to Indianapolis. I'm like, okay, let's be honest. They only put Daniel Jones there to breathe down Anthony Richardson's neck, who is now hurt. So Daniel, there you go. But now they want another quarterback to do what? Put in front of Daniel or put behind Daniel? Which y'all think? Indianapolis, Shador, or Dylan, Daniel Jones. Let me know your thoughts. Super Bowl with 12 in Dallas. Okay, Anthony, I'll take it. Motivated says Shador hasn't played one NFL snap yet. Don't disrespect that. Y'all asked for this. Y'all asked for this. Or Amber, you did. Motivated, dedicated. You entitled to your opinion, but line them up. We'll see it. Amber said, yes, D. It said, I deleted it because he already is engaging with us. Anyway, all right. So that's where we ended on. The only trade that seems valuable at the moment, Jacksonville, haven't heard about it since, but I like it. Uh, Detroit, purely speculative, and no, it disrupts Shedeur. And the guy that was number two that only played 68 yards last year, no. So I'm taking Detroit off the table. Um, Miami, I don't see that happen. Just because Miami is in the same division with the Buffalo Bills, and strategically, no, they're not gonna let that happen. They're not gonna let Shador at QB1 and go head to head with Josh Allen and possibly take Allen down. They're not gonna let that happen. They protected him clearly. Um, they don't mind. They don't mind Shador in the same division with Lamar, and that's why they should have left Russ there. But then see what it would have looked like. It would have looked just like the one where the Giants are. Look at that division and look at who's there. All the best QBs. And that's whatever division, I guess that's what the AFC is at the top and the national one is at the bottom. So is that the NFC? I need to learn them. I don't know. But whatever one Pittsburgh and Cleveland and the Bengals are in and Baltimore, that one was this. If Russ had stayed in Pittsburgh, didn't matter if it was Shador or Deshaun. That's why he's gonna go to Cleveland. It didn't matter because it's the same. It's still a black quarterback. The only QB would have been that's not black would have been Burrow. So that meant 1, 2, 3, and at the top you had 1, 2, 3. So when those teams play cross conference at some point or whatever, what that does is it makes it harder. The odds are for who to get out, right? So that's why they make those moves like that. They actually manipulating the outcome. That's what it is. The Jacksonville angle is interesting, but I think the current QB is salvageable. Oh, okay. Cleveland is trying to move Dylan, but who will take him? KT, did you get that information from somewhere? Let me know. Who's gonna take him? Somebody. Hell, Detroit, Indianapolis, and Detroit. And here's what that does. If Indianapolis takes Detroit and Anthony Richardson is out, who's the starter? Daniel Jones with Dylan as the backup. Now let's say we know it ain't Shador, but let's just throw it in there. So Anthony Richardson is out. Shador goes to Indianapolis. Who you think gonna start? That's why Shador not going to Indianapolis because they put Daniel Jones there because they wanted him to emerge as QB1. They just wanted to force Anthony Richardson to compete, but not be injured. So enjoy the road, Daniel. Let's see what you do with it. No Detroit, no Indianapolis. So Shador stays in Cleveland. To me, I don't know. I think both Pickett and Dylan are both expendable at this point. They need to get two other people. That's how I feel. We both know what they're gonna do at the least. At the least. And see, they don't want Dylan behind Shador. So they probably will move Dylan just so they don't have to admit they messed up. Well, Anthony Richardson is hurt. I can see it. Anthony Richardson is hurt, and we gonna go ahead and send Dylan over there because he could probably start. That ain't gonna happen. They sent Daniel Jones there for a reason. They gonna make that reason happen. Notice they get what they want most times. What they can't control is the pure competitiveness. They can't control what you see happening in terms of who's the best when they line up against each other. But everything else they can control. Let's see. Deshaun wanted out of Texas, and suddenly he got a major crimes case. They set him up out of spite, right? And that's how he got a contract because they thought they was only setting him up, but they were actually exposing other people, and they don't want to expose them. D, what's the problem? I thought it was his Achilles injury. It said Miami can take Dylan. Their QB is fragile. They got Quinn Ewers down there too. Um, Dylan not going to Miami. I think Dylan could end up in Indianapolis. Indianapolis doesn't believe in Daniel Jones. Well, somebody just paid him $14 million for 1 year. So somebody believe in him. And since he left Minnesota, I know they didn't pay him. So Indianapolis believes because that's a lot of believing. That's $14 million worth of believing for 1 year for somebody who already failed. That's like 11 chances at $14 million just for one shot. For how many games? 17 to 18? So there you go. Dylan is in training, right? And they're gonna be patient with him. I think Pickett is out. I'll take that. Juanette. Dylan, they looking at him like, what did she say he needed to learn? Mary Catherine said he needed to learn the play. No, she said he had a learning curve. But I don't see. I don't know. I think they're gonna move Dylan before the preseason. So I don't think Dylan is the one. I think it's Kenny Pickett. Because if I got Flacco, oh, then again, wait, here's the flip side to that. I move Dylan and keep Pickett and Flacco. Flacco can't play a whole season, but Pickett can. And then as a last resort, I put in Shedeur. That's how I keep Shedeur away from QB1 with Pickett and Flacco. I can't do it with just Pickett with Flacco. Hell, I probably can't do it with Pickett for a whole season. So Shedeur is my last resort. See that? I can see Dylan going to Indianapolis because that's how they get out of saying, well, we wanted to keep Dylan, but there was a need at quarterback in Indianapolis. See that? Anybody else can see it? And that's how they keep Shedeur, who they let run with the twos and not the ones. That's how they keep him out the QB1 spot with Pickett still on the roster. And that's who they going to start with. And when Pickett struggle, they going to go to Flacco. And then Flacco, if he exhausts the number of games he capable of, 7 or 8, Shedeur is the last result. And maybe he only plays, the last 7 games, which means he's not QB1 on record. That's what I think the strategy might be. Now, if they keep, that's one strategy that I could see actually coming to fruition because I know they don't want to put Shedeur at QB1 because they won't let him run with the ones, but they don't mind him as a backup at QB2. So I know that at last resort, they'll keep Pickett and go for Flacco and Shedeur. But let's say they move Shedeur. Let's say they move Shedeur to Indianapolis and put him behind Daniel Jones. That ain't gonna work. And they know that. So that's why he ain't going there. Just like they not okay. They said who's the quarterback in Minnesota behind JJ McCarthy? They like, when the hell is he gonna get somebody behind him? You think they're gonna put you behind JJ McCarthy? Hell no. They didn't realize they messed up and put Jalen Milroe number 2 behind Sam Darnold and realized that contract scenario is not gonna hold Jalen Milroe off. And now they want to move him to 3 and put up Drew Luck a lot or whatever his last name is to 2. So you think if I know to move Milroe back another space to 3, I don't know that if I put Shador Sanders behind Daniel Jones, who I already know, and based on what Shador can do, that ain't happening. They will send Dylan to Indianapolis before they send Shador. If they send Shador, they must want him to start. Or they crazy if they think Daniel Jones go outplay Shador Sanders. So I don't see that happening. And then if they decide to send Shador somewhere else, like Detroit, where they don't think he's gonna play behind Goff, and they bring in the guy who only played 68 yards from Tennessee and been in the league for 2 years. If they bring him over, and it's the 4 of them with Dylan, Henry, somebody like that, whatever his name is, the guy from Detroit, and Pickett and Flacco, that's 4, right? Let me see who they would get rid of. I guess it would be Shedeur would be the one out. So you got a guy. So I mean, you just going from bad to worse. You got Dylan. You know what that is. You bring in a guy from Detroit that has played 68 yards in 2 seasons, and then you have Pickett that you know exactly who he is. And Pickett's average completion rate is less in Cleveland, is less than his career overall. So he getting worse. And then Flacco, who can't play a whole season. That don't make no sense at all. Well, see that Detroit that don't make no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. So I don't think Shedeur going nowhere. But I can see Dylan or Kenny Pickett going, and I can see Dylan going to Indianapolis. But then I can see Kenny Pickett being the one out because they don't want to admit that they don't want Dylan playing behind Shedeur. They don't want that. They don't want that at all. Says Shedeur is staying in Cleveland. 102 of us, please hit the like for me, please. Shedeur is staying in Cleveland, but I don't think that they operate like that. The owners operate on ego, right? Right. Did y'all see and read Coach Prime message this morning? Some kind of change is about to happen. No, what does it say? Cleveland's home game tickets sold out for this season yet. They usually have good attendance every year, win, lose, or draw. So it might not be sold out, but they don't have no issues with selling tickets. Not yet. So that's for Rodney. So they have an average attendance rate of like 60,000 some odd people, which is pretty good. Either with himself or Shedeur, some decision is about to be made. Okay. All right. I think some Freckle, Knackle, Bull about to go down. All right, let's see. Well, I know somebody about to be traded, so let me look at it right fast. D said, what about the fan outage and impatience at wanting them to start Shador? As that Pickens Flacco scenario plays out, it will be loud. Well, that's fact too. Anywhere Shador goes, the fan going, right, Shador could go to Canada. We going too, and they know that. That's why they didn't tell him, thank you, we're going to go somewhere else. They hoarded talent. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Right, I'm trying to see. All right, hold on one second. Oh, a ton of notifications. Um, so Coach Prime. All right, let me see. I can't read it this morning. I saw the one that he posted that said everything was okay. Um, let me see. So we just gonna all look at it at the same time and read it. Deion Sanders. All right, here we go. Y'all said today, right? Is that this one? Okay, few hours ago. Please take your time. Oh, I read this. Please take your time and don't rush anything. Your decision making at this point in your life is vital. Why rush, baby? You got this. And then he quoted the song, Baby, you can do it. Take your time, do it right. You can do it. I did read this. All right. That's what that says to me is what Shador said. I got time. I'm not in no rush. That's why I didn't think nothing of it. Because what did we hear Shador say? He just echoing what Shador said. I'm in no rush. So Shador is not pushing for QB1, just like I'm not pushing for QB1. The people that are pushing for QB1, you got to look at them and figure out what their angle is. We know what my thing is. We know what the podcast, what we want to see, what that O line do. So we're not pushing for QB1. But I know he should not be four string. He should not be behind Pickett. He should not be behind Dylan. I have no problem with the duo of Shedeur and Flacco. I think that's a marriage that could work. So Coach Prime was just echoing what Shedeur said at his interview. I'm not in any rush. I have time. I'm working on the small things. So he just echoing that. So that's it. If he when you see him sitting at that gazebo, then not that. Now if some come from over there, then there's something going down. But I don't think so. I think what they are doing is God opened the door for Cleveland. Shador gonna be there. No rush. Take your time. And if God closes it, he happy to go wherever. Because also what Coach Prime said, that popped up in my feed, he said it a long time ago. He said, we don't let them see us travel by anything, essentially, that they do to us. And that's what bothers them. And I think he's right. Because all the pre-draft agitation towards Shador, they couldn't get to him, but they tried. They really did. They tried. And even the guy that plays for Cleveland, I think Newsom, he said, man, the way he deals with this media and all the pressure that comes with that, he unflappable. So I do believe that Coach Prime is right. I think they try to get to him and mentally crash him in the draft they assassinated his character. That was a character assassination pre-draft. And then in the draft, they used that character assassination and everything else in the kitchen sink to throw at him. What did they expect? They know they weren't going to draft him because they took him off the board. So they was expecting him to crash out because he was gonna go what? Undrafted. He was gonna go undrafted. And then they had waivers, so you putting that out there. So you saying you could go wherever you think you're gonna go, and we're gonna put you on waivers. Which means another team can get it. That's why I don't want to hear nothing about that practice squad. No, that's not the option. The option is another team they can trade. And that's what needs to happen. He don't even need to be on waivers. It's just another team call up Cleveland. But they're not allowed to do so. As good as Shedeur look, and I posted the other day, 31 teams watched Shedeur audition. That's what that is. That's an audition. So Cleveland have first rights, so they clearly can. The owner have been out there. Well, let me see for myself. Oh yeah, this looking good. I think we're gonna keep him because the jersey sales is good too. So let's just keep him, but make sure he don't get the QB1 because that's the script. They still sticking to the script. I'm fine with QB2, and it's to be determined because now we got to see when we get to the see. I don't care what training camp look like if he on the roster. I don't care what training camp look like if Dylan on the roster. I don't care if when they get the preseason, Dylan play all 3 games or 2 games and Shedeur play 1. It's about what happens in the regular season game. If they don't let Shedeur touch the field until week 7, they think they're going to ice him out. Shedeur stayed late and worked out. Yesterday, all the cameras stayed late and watched him. So while they might not want people to have endorsements, you can't smother or stifle his celebrity at all. So I don't even know if his contract say that because now they all seem to be different. But he made what 20 some odd million before the draft. 3 ads went in rotation right afterwards. So I don't know how the hell that's gonna work with Shedeur. Maybe he can't get no more unless the club know, and they likely be anyway. So what's probably going to happen is if they see anything, they have his. Y'all know he represented by Coach Prime business partner Swag. Is it Smack Entertainment? SMAC. That's who represents his branding. That's who does Travis's branding. That's who got Shiloh too. So if she come to him with a deal, the NFL sound like they want to know about it. Like the committee, they want to look at it. How much is it for? Because they're going to use that number when it's time to negotiate. Well, hell, he done made $300 million from that, so we ain't giving him all that. Then he going to have $500 million. They need to know. You not getting the money directly, so what the hell do you need to know about? What, you want to know if Adidas or Nike going to put you in a bad light? You already have partnerships with Nike, so you know they not. You don't want him to have more than you know about because you wanted to deduct and adjust accordingly so you don't make him too rich. So now that committee that you see in the NCAA, that's exactly how they want to do it. That's crazy. Got it. No frazzle. Coach said he was built for this. Yeah. Coach Mo got an assistant AD position somewhere in the SWAC. FAMU. Coach Mo is at FAMU. I keep saying Negro leagues because I want Black people to have hope and not get depressed. Black people not depressed. We just all different. All Black people are not into sports. All Black people are not into sports. It's incumbent upon these NFL players and the ones that want to come to the league. To me, the current players need to protect the future. They need to build the league so that what? These guys have somewhere to go to. And so when their careers are over, they have a way to make money. See, if nothing else, there should already be a league out here that coincides with the offseason, and we know it is. But is it player owned? That's what needs to happen, not just a different owner. But for some reason, they won't do it. But then they got all of these camps out here that are well attended. Even Justin Jefferson got a camp now that runs from August to September, and it's not even a camp. It's a mini football league for little kids. I mean, if you can strategize that and make it successful, you should take that strategy and apply it to your own league. If Gunner's 7-on-17 can play at the Rose Bowl, why can't you? If he could lease it for his 7-on-17 and invite the community to come out and everybody else that's like 7-on-7, then why the hell can't NFL players? Is there anything in that contract that says in your off season You are not allowed to have a football league. And if no, pay a lawyer $1,000 to read it. And if no, then every off season, at least for just a few weeks, that's what needs to happen other than being on boats with pink powder or sitting down somewhere, getting out of shape, and now you got to come back and listen to them talk about you being slow every day or buying jewelry, buying houses. Yeah, you can take a vacation. But instead of just sitting around, hell, you could at least have a flag football team. It would sell out because they are the best, but they just want to leave it up to the other guys. So somebody got to step up. Somebody got to step up. It's not good enough to be another league. The players that are often disparaged have to be the ones that start a player-led, black-owned league, just like Unrivaled, player-led. One co-founder is black, the other one is not, but she represents LGBTQ. I mean, they both might, hell, I don't know. But the point is, they're looking out. And that's what these NFL players need to do. I don't know why they don't do it. I haven't seen anything from what I read, but I haven't read all 25 pages on something, right? You got to do something. Right, so we out of here. We are hour and 41 minutes, but people still watching the video, so that's good. 102 of us, please hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. We'll be back at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Inside the Huddle with the latest hot topics in sports. We are clearly talking about Shador Sanders, Travis Hunter, Colorado Buffs, what's going on, with football. I'm not against talking about basketball because that's really part of the platform. It's just that, in my opinion, and this is how I feel about it, the Shador Sanders situation stemming from the draft and with a lot of us still seeing them sticking to the script in Cleveland warrants my attention. That's how I feel about it. So that's what we talk about. And when we see he's good, now we see he's more comfortable. That's cool. But when we see he's good, when we're past the critical point, where he not getting cut from the team, or they not mistreating him, or they not, continuing with the script, then we'll probably add on other things. But right now, I believe the Shador Sanders situation warrants my attention. So that's what we're talking about. So thank y'all for hanging out. We'll be back at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all know y'all can consider the conversation in the regular comments. These are the live stream comments. And once the live stream is over, you can go back and review those comments, but you can't make changes. After the live is up, you can immediately go back to this live stream, click on comments, and start continue your conversation right there. And that's what I encourage. Right, y'all. So I see y'all later. Y'all were awesome and engaging today. Thank you for being awesome. See you at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on What She Said Sports. Thank you.
Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video.
And that's me. That's me.
Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify.
All right.
Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video.
I'm sure it's Shador to do the right thing.
Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video.
In the Airbnb now.
Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify.
Video is that?
Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video.